starring 12 heroines of health made in Africa. In our program, we have videos and keynotes, remarks. You will actually hear from all of the heroines of health for 2023 as well. So you have a lot to look forward to. And I want to think of our first speaker as a kind of an appetizer, a side to your appetizer. That is Dr. Rupa Dutt. Thank you for being with us. Executive Director of Women in Global Health, and of course, co-founder as well. Welcome. Keep talking and it will come on. Yes.
Called an appetizer on stage, so I guess I have to be sizzling, right? How exciting. You've already seen the preview of the energy of the Heroines of Health, and I hope you've had a chance to mingle with them. But good thing, as Femi has said, this evening is meant to be fun. It is meant for us to exchange and really learn from the women that are taking on some of the toughest health challenges. I want to foremost also recognize all those that have joined us in this journey of Heroines of Health. We launched in 2017, and there are some alumni from the original gala that have stayed committed. And we are so thrilled to be able to bring the Heroines of Health Gala to the Africa continent. This is the first time, round of applause. This campaign seeks to water down recognition of commitments for sexual and reproductive health and rights, to reduce access to knowledge about comprehensive sexual education, defund sexual reproductive health services, and prevent access to elements of safe maternal care, eliminate options for safe abortions. These are all threats to the well-being of girls, women, and all of society. We are utterly outraged about this. We hear from our Women in Global Health members that this is increasingly hard for them to provide the services they are trained to give and the services which their communities need. Health does not deliver itself. It is vitally important that we remain and continue the political commitment at the highest levels when head of states gather at the United Nations. But more importantly, we know the real action is in communities. And tonight, the Heroines of Health Gala, as it has always been, is about the women that are doing the hard work in their communities, recognizing them, supporting them, but most important, listening to them tonight. They're going to be calling to all of you as decision makers, policy makers. We flipped the stage for a reason. We want you to hear directly from them on what solutions they're looking for, because I know it's rare that that opportunity happens in any place. So it is now with great pleasure we will be hearing from 12 amazing women who lead in their sectors, not because they had any organized pathway, but who lead and succeed despite the barriers in front of them and because of determination to serve their communities. And now it is my turn to our moderator for this evening, the former host of CNN Inside Africa, and also former host of The Stream of Al Jazeera, former Nigerian Media Personality of the Year, and renowned journalist and broadcaster who does not need an introduction in this room. But Femi Oke, you deserve the recognition every time. Thank you for joining us this evening and taking us on this journey. And if I was the appetizer, I would say, you're taking us through the main course.
Thank you, Rupa. If you had on your seat this is an amazing booklet. It's got the stories of our 12 heroines of health in it. You'll start to recognize some of the people you're actually sitting next to and around the room. Take a look at that. And then also this is what's happening next. If I skip anything, yell out, okay? Because that would be a mistake, and we're in this together. When is a poem a call to action? You're about to find out. This is the work of Mumbai Macharia. And if you pay attention to that screen or this screen or this screen, we're about to find out what happens beyond applause.
I write this on behalf of women working twice as hard for only half. For the women who don't get a say to decide but are still expected to provide. This is the reality with which they are dealing, so on their behalf, I am appealing. Somewhere, by a river in the valleys of Kenya, a young girl has dreams of becoming Wonder Woman, who in her eyes is a nurse. Wait until she finds out that the situation her fellow women are facing in the field is only getting worse. Wait until she finds out that her worth was already determined for her at birth. She has dreams of nursing back to health the people who remind her of her mother and brothers, but her only crime was inheriting the X chromosome from her father. She is now arbitrarily at the bottom of a hierarchy serving the patriarchy. Being in the front line of global health shouldn't mean sacrificing the needs of self. So these are my heroines of health. The women who unapologetically take up space, who dare raise their voices to advocate for change, who time and time again show up despite the challenges they face, and still they do it with utmost grace, who day by day deal with unequal pay, victims of repeated mistreatment, who have their dignity assaulted while their male counterparts are exalted. You are leaders and healers in more ways than one. We need you. We need more of you. We need to address where the problem is rooted and in turn listen to the ways that we can make you included. You don't need to be a feminist to side with the facts, so perhaps this poem demands more than just snaps and claps.
Our keynote is going to be delivered by the Honourable Mary Robinson, the former President of Ireland. Mary, it is so good to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary Robinson.
And I want to thank in particular Dr. Rupa Dutt for her courage some years ago in putting together Women in Health and believing in the idea. And many thanks to Women in Global Health for organising this wonderful celebration of women's vital contribution to global health and for inviting me to say a few words. I say a few words actually not so much as President of Ireland, that was quite a while ago. I do it as Chair of the Elders. Big shoes to fill. Archbishop Tutu was our first chair, and then Kofi Annan, and after he died we had to decide on who would be the next chair. And contrary to my wishes, I have to say, but it happened that they wanted me to be the chair. And do you know who my deputies are? Graça Machel, who founded the Elders with Nelson Mandela, and Ban Ki-moon. Ban Ki-moon was my boss for 3 mandates, and now he's my deputy. You know, you have to get used to things, you know. I mean, and he loves the fact that I'm a woman chair of the Elders. Both of my fellow elders who've been here for Women Deliver, both Graça Machel, who took an earlier flight, and in particular Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf, who was taking a later flight but insisted, as you've heard, of coming here to meet the heroines of health that we've heard about. I understand there are the 12 heroines of this year and 2 of last year who couldn't do it last year, and I'm thrilled that they're included as well. This is what should happen, always. And they are the heroines. I had the pleasure with Ellen of standing with them. They are the heroines. So let me just finish by saying, as we build back our societies, our economy, and health systems, we must consider how we can support women health workers to do their job and maintain their morale. We must ensure their voices are heard and that women have a clear path into leadership. The health systems of the world are held up by women like the 14 heroines of health being recognized today. Their efforts are inspirational, and I believe that this year's heroines will inspire the next generation of girls and women to be bold and to take the lead and to help us to ensure what we promise to everyone. No one must be left behind. Thank you for your attention.
Elizabeth Bird is the Deputy Director, Global Programs, Susan Thompson Buffett Foundation. Elizabeth, please come to the stage.
Honorable ministers, delegates, and most importantly, the 12, although I guess we're saying now 14, heroines of health that we're honoring tonight. Thank you for the opportunity to share a few words from Professor Sinai Faseha, who unfortunately could not be with us. So these are her words, okay? First and foremost, let me say thank you to our frontline health workers for the work you do day in and day out, often in very challenging circumstances. I'm so glad we have the chance to celebrate you and your work this evening. Women's essential work in healthcare system is so often overlooked, not to mention underpaid. So thank you also to Women in Global Health for creating this platform, for elevating these voices, and for all the work you do to advance these issues. It is so appropriate to be hosting this event at Women Deliver in Kigali, because these are the people delivering for women across Africa. We all know the all-important role frontline health workers play in delivering women's health services in particular. More than that, women healthcare providers are confidants, accompagnateurs, thought partners, and support systems to women as they navigate the healthcare system for themselves and their families. So as much as you are here to celebrate, and you must celebrate tonight, I hope you can also leave this evening ready to advocate for the health workforce needed to deliver for women and the support structures they need to thrive in their roles. Congratulations to all the awardees. I'm so sorry I cannot be with you all on behalf of Professor tonight, and she's wishing you all a very successful evening. Thank you.
Professor Flavia Sankubuje, please come onto the stage.
Because I am South African, we like to do a proper introduction for everybody. So as we say in South Africa, so you again don't get into trouble, we say all protocol observed. And so it gives me great pleasure, really, I'm so humbled and honored to be here with you this evening. And I heard now we have 14 remarkable women who've made an exceptional contribution to the health sector and who truly have earned the title Heroine of Health. And so this evening, I want to greet you all with the words of the Reverend Diosoga. He was a 19th century composer, he was a South African, and he composed one of the best known Xhosa hymns. Now, Xhosa is an indigenous South African language, which is actually Nelson Mandela's indigenous language. And that hymn is called Lizalisa Itingalako, which means fulfill your promise. There is no doubt that effective and efficient provision of healthcare of women results in stronger and healthier communities. And in fact, it was the First Lady of the US, Michelle Obama, when she said, communities and countries and ultimately the world are only as strong as the health of the women. And so again, I go back to my roots in South Africa, and we have another language called Sesotho. And there's a saying in Sesotho which says, Musadi utwara thipa ka bokgalong, which means that a woman holds the knife at the sharp end. A woman holds the knife at the sharp end. Let them say we led in times of tenacious and bold leaders of our fraternity who moved the needle, harnessed our collective humanity, shattered the glass ceiling, set the world ablaze, and created a history and a legacy that will never be forgotten. Your Excellencies, colleagues, I thank you.
Dr. Katinji, Gitahi, I hope you have a good table mate. Get them to save your food. Okay.
Let me say I am really honored to be here. John Kaseya, we are the only two men allowed on this stage, other than Tedros on video. So, yes. Oh, Okay. Okay, I thought it was just the two of us. Okay, thank you very much. I am a father of 3 girls, and yes to access to family planning for girls, yes to girl leadership, and yes to safe abortion. I now have the pleasure of announcing the following heroines who are holding the knife on the sharp end, Professor Flavia. 1, it gives me great pleasure to call upon Ms. Waknesh Kereta from Ethiopia, nominated by Pathfinder International. Waknesh, please join me on stage. Second, it's my great honor to invite on stage Afi Paba from Togo, nominated by Integrate Health. Afi. Another great heroine of health from my own country, Phyllis Mboke Ndolo from Kenya, nominated by Grand Challenges Canada. I have been corrected there. It's Phyllis Mbeke Ndolo. And the next heroine of health I'm going to announce is Ms. Rukaya Mumuni from Ghana. Nominated by Sabin Vaccine Institute.
Group photograph. All right. So, what inspired you to become a champion for sexual reproductive health and rights? It's such a difficult area to really advocate for. Wagnesh.
First of all, I would like to thank those who have nominated me and organized my stories and facilitated this all ceremony for me, for staffs of Women of the Global Health and my organizations. Thank you so much. I'm really honored and humbled and privileged to have such a prestigious award, and very happy that can really motivate me to work very hard in the future. Even though I am getting older, yeah, I'm 65 now. I worked for the last 45 years, but still my heart is very young. So I will continue to contribute a lot to my country, especially for adolescent and youth health. When I come to my stories, of course, I'm born in a rural area of my country, Ethiopia, and grown up there. I was the elder of four siblings, and all I want to be was my mom. My mom was my inspiration. And my mom was very beautiful. I love her very much. And she was very young, but very vibrant and smart. She was uneducated, but visionary. And she couldn't write and read, but smart. Of all the things, she loved her children very well. If she was there, I know how I can get very minimal directions and guidances, and I can perform better than this one. So with this commitment, I took very seriously to work on adolescent and youth health. And if we give them a little guidance and minimal directions, again, if we strengthen, the adults and young people partnership, adolescent and youth have the potentials and the energy and the power to change our world. Thank you so much.
The Honourable Helen Clark has run the UNDP and New Zealand. We feel she is qualified to give out awards. Helen, do join us. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Femi, and I don't want to be told off by you, so I'm going to go straight to the names. So, the stories are wonderful, right? We're hearing from women working right on the front lines, and it just makes us feel so humble to hear all the stories. So the first one I'm going to call to the stage is Mary William Brown of Malawi. Please come forward. Nominated by Partners in Health. Right, we go from the kind of eastern inland side of Africa to Senegal and Josephine Giboun. Nominated by AMREF. A big hand for Josephine. Next, Ms. Prosi Moyingo from Uganda. Woohoo! Nominated by Community Health Impact Coalition. And next we have Ms. Kanolbe Yvette Ouedraogo from Burkina Faso, nominated by Engender Health.
If we start with Mary, as somebody who's a woman working in healthcare, have you ever found that there are issues with men that you have to work with, or fathers or families, where that's been quite a difficult thing for you to let them know that you have authority and credibility?
Ineyo nditatenga mimba yoyambilira ndinapita kuwanzamba kuti ndikachire nthawi yochira itakwanira. Koma titafika kwa azamba anayesesa kuti agwire ntchito yawo, koma zinakanika. Choncho natengedwa kupita kuchipatala. Titapita kuchipatala kucha, nathandizidwa. Mwamwayi nabereka mwana wamwamuna.
I'll start with telling my story. When I had my first pregnancy in 2006, I went to a traditional birth attendant. I did not know the importance of going to hospital. Unfortunately, I had a very difficult labor. I could not deliver there. I was later taken to hospital, and luckily my baby and my life were saved. Since then, I have volunteered to help women concerning safe motherhood. Until now, my community, they all use family planning methods to develop the women and their families. Thank you.
How do you start that conversation with the father? Are you tough? Are you gentle? What do you say?
I faced that challenge. Of course, he chased me away. That when you happen to come in my house again, I will beat you. But I didn't give up as a professional community health worker. I know how to handle the situation. I first befriended them. I included my supervisors, plus the local leaders. So at the end, I was the one even to escort the lady to get the vaccines. Thank you.
Thank you. I can say any word if I don't recognize my grateful to women global health community for this distinction. At the second level, I want to greet my organization, and Gender Health, represented here. And Gender Health is an organization that provides us an enabling environment, allowing us to express our leadership, promoting gender equity, and I'm very grateful for my nomination to this award.
The Honourable Dr. Williamina S. Jalal, Minister of Health for the Republic of Liberia. Yes. You have a fan club. I love that. All right. Minister, stand down this end, because it's nearer the awards, so you don't have to work quite so hard. Thank you for presenting. We appreciate you.
Good evening to all. No one answering? Your stomach isn't full? Okay, thank you. Join me in recognizing it's not the final four, so I would just say four women of the night for their work to lead change for women's health and women's rights. Professor Hadese Galadansi from Nigeria, nominated by International Foundation of Gynecology and Obstetrics.
Thank you so much.
Next, we have Dr. Elizabeth Inganga from Uganda, nominated by Smile Train. Congratulations. Gladys Kohanga from Cote d'Ivoire, nominated by Musso. Last on my list, we have Mrs. Maskari Shitungan from Ethiopia, nominated by Hunger Health.
Did I hear some ululating? Okay, just checking. Fantastic. All right, I am wondering that moment, Professor Hadiza, when you found out you were a heroine of health. Where were you? What did you do?
Well, Femi, that's a good question. Well, first of all, I'm really honored to be given this award. And I really want to thank the International Federation of Obstetricians and Gynecologists for nominating me. Well, it was a real surprise. I was really surprised. I got a mail from the president of FIGO, that is the International Federation of Gynecologists and Obstetricians. And in that letter, she wrote that, the board have decided that they were going to nominate me for the Heroines of Health Award. And so it was a real surprise, but at the same time, I was very excited. I was very delighted. I felt the little bit of work I'm doing in, a small part of the world, which is Nigeria, is being recognized globally. And that really sort of energized me that I will have to continue to do more. So basically, it was a surprise for me. Thank you.
Dr. Jean Casilla, congratulations again. Dr. Jean Casilla, hello, you are so patient. Thank you. You looked at the program, you thought, I'm right at the end. It's so lovely to have you, Dr. Jean. Take the microphone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So nice to see all of you. Do you know why I'm here? For two reasons. The first one, this is what is common with Gigi. I like to call him Gigi, Dr. Gitinji. I like to call him Gigi. What is common between Gigi and myself? We are father of 3 girls.
Congratulations.
Anita is really a champion. She's someone doing great job. She's the deputy director of Integrated Health in Togo. She can provide so many support to so many people. And we have to applaud this champion. The second one is Dr. Temba. Dr. Temba is coming from Tanzania, and she's working closely with the Ministry of Health to provide technical assistance to a number of working groups, such as National Family Planning, the Safe Motherhood Initiative, and a Gender and Youth Forum. As Director General, now we'll start to support this initiative, not for logo, but to show the commitment of Africa to have more leaders, women in global health. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jean. Thank you, ladies. Congratulations.
So the one thing that I would like to say, I'm here because there are people who have mentored me. They have caught my hand, and I'm privileged that they're also here. Sekai, our VP, Prudence, and Renu. So thank you very much. And what I do is also pay that forward. I'm my sister's keeper, be it the clients that we see every day, be it the CHW that we work with, the healthcare providers that we train and expect them to do a lot. I'm really, really trying to be their keeper. Thank you.
Merci. Je vais aller en français et remercier tout le monde et remercier surtout pour l'opportunité qui m'est donnée aujourd'hui de placer 2 mots à l'endroit des décideurs qui sont ici, des partenaires techniques et financiers qui nous soutiennent dans nos pays et de rappeler que tous les pays en Afrique ont mis dans leur agenda la couverture sanitaire universelle. Et chaque pays a choisi la stratégie qui lui plaît pour y atteindre. Beaucoup ont choisi l'assurance pour y arriver. Mais je me pose la question de savoir combien de femmes dans les milieux enclavés peuvent souscrire à cette assurance-là. Combien de jeunes peuvent souscrire à cette assurance pour être en bonne santé et avoir accès aux soins, surtout à la santé maternelle et nos enfants. Aurons-nous assez d'argent pour souscrire à cette assurance? Non, je ne pense pas. Mais il y a une autre stratégie. Et cette stratégie, c'est de soutenir la santé communautaire. Les agents de santé communautaire sont dans leur communauté. Ils maîtrisent leur communauté. Ils sont là, bénévoles, elles sont là. Elles sont prêtes à soutenir la santé maternelle. Alors, chers décideurs, chers partenaires techniques et financiers, soutenons les interventions à base communautaire pour que la qualité des soins commence dans nos communautés et pour qu'au niveau des santé, des formations sanitaires, il y ait peu de monde et que les prestataires aient assez de temps pour prendre en charge les complications qui viennent à eux. Merci beaucoup pour cette opportunité.
Merci. Thank you. Congratulations. All right, so I have seen the Director General of the WHO do many awards. You know his background with the WHO background, and he sits and he records them. And I can tell the difference between the ones where he's like, I have to do this, and the ones where his heart is in it. And this one's like he's saying, hello, friends, right? You can take a look at the video. He's here via video, and he sends his very best wishes. Dr. Tedros, let's take a look.
My friend Rupa, dear colleagues and friends, all over the world, midwives and community health workers provide vital life-giving and life-saving care for women and girls, especially for underserved groups in remote areas. In unstable settings, such as refugee camps, where half of births happen outside health clinics, women health workers are often the first and sometimes the only care providers for women and girls. Yet, their valuable contributions and needs are often ignored. Globally, women account for 2/3 of the health and care workforce, but too few women are in senior positions in the health sector, and there is a 24% gender pay gap. The glass ceiling must be smashed. We call on all countries to protect all health and care workers from violence and discrimination, to protect their labor rights, and to protect them with safe and decent working conditions. And we call on all countries to invest in health and care workers, in decent working conditions, in fair pay, and in training and leadership. My congratulations to the 12 incredible women who are being recognized today. Thank you for your service and commitment to protecting and promoting the sexual and reproductive health of women and girls, and to a healthier, safer, fairer future. Murakoze cyane. I thank you.
Round of applause for the 14 Heroines of Health that we have recognized tonight. I'm going to ask them to join me on stage, please, with your award. As they're coming to the stage, I want to acknowledge the magic that has taken place tonight. And I want to thank each one of you for staying with us. We know it is a long, long week, but we hope that you are as energized as I am feeling. The Heroines of Health Gala, as many of you have heard, comes from a place of all of us, women, men, people from all backgrounds, recognizing the critical role that women have in their society. I'm not going to make the case because the case has been made. I'm not going to ask for the call to the action because you've heard the call to the action from all these Heroines of Health. Now I'm going to say you did pick up the pin, you took the badge, and I'm calling on all of you to take what has been said and act on it. We can't wait. And on that note, I want to say that this evening, yes, not forget you. Join me, sir. And as I say, Gigi number 2. Just acknowledging that throughout this evening, we've seen commitments come through. I'm not going to exactly put the honorable who has said this, but has said, you know what? There's going to be a chapter maybe in Gambia very soon. A round of applause. We have already heard the commitment from the Director General of Africa CDC for joining the Heroines of Health. A round of applause to that. But the many of you that are in this room have been on the journey with Women in Global Health to recognize the Heroines of Health from 2017. And I really want to also acknowledge all the partners. For sake of time, I won't go one by one. They've been recognized in our brochure on stage, but this would not be possible without the fact that you are recognizing the women in your communities and amplifying them and giving them the platform and bringing them and allowing this flipping the stage that has taken place. So a round of applause to all our partners. There's one particular person that I'm going to call on stage, and I know she likes to be behind the scenes, but Kyla, please come on stage for making this possible. Either. but the senior fellow, Ann Keeling, the woman one everyone must know, because she has been with us and supporting every bit of this to make this possible. And I want to also recognize Professor Sanait Fise for saying yes and making tonight possible. You heard her through the words of amazing Liz Bird. Yes, you did a great job, Liz. And I want to just say, you know, I know she's not here, but her energy is in this room, and she has, from the moment that Heroines of Health is launched, she has always been with this community. So I just want to say again, thank you to everyone for supporting these amazing women, and let's continue to support them by responding to their call to action. It's not only about the right thing to do, it's a smart thing to do. This is how we're going to save lives, we're going to save our community, save our planet, because all of that, right now, we're facing major crisis. So let's go away this evening feeling energized, let's work collaboratively, and let's support the Heroines of Health. Thank you. Please stay on stage so we can get a photo of you.
Anyone else wants to join the picture? It's your moment. Collective action for gender equity and health. Woo! Congratulations to the 2023 Heroines of Health.